Hey guys, welcome to Taste This TV. I'm Chef Joe Ciminera. Today we have a great show for you here today. Working with a couple of incredible products, we are taking the classic coq au vin recipe and moving it into another direction. Classic coq au vin, which you know braised with red wine for hours on end until the meat falls off the bone, and is always done by a roaster or a boiling chicken, an older chicken, which we sort of break down with wine. What we're going to do is use half of this chicken, some incredible ingredients, talk about what we're going to do to put a little bit of a twist on it between gin and a little bit of honey and stuff like that. We got our slicer in the back that we're going to be slicing this supersada. We are going to be getting busy, folks. So let's get started with the first thing. Let's sear this chicken. So what we're going to do is cut this bad boy up, and there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm just going to give you my quick version here, which is sort of cut down the middle. We definitely want the bone in this, so we're just going to go down in that. The bone is going to help with the flavor, right? So we open this up, and you can see there's the bag with the cavity and stuff like that. We're going to take over here. We're just going to clean this up a bit. We're going to remove all this stuff. And as I mentioned before, we're only going to use a certain portion of this, so we're going to cut it down. All right, so what you're going to do here, you can do this with a cleaver. What I like to do is just cut it in half. This way we have the bone intact, we have everything we need. And what we're going to do is cut smaller pieces and pan sear this. That's what we're looking for. Now this, don't you dare throw it away, because we can do like a grilled half chicken or something like that. But we're going to put the pan on the fire here. And next what we're going to do is cut small pieces on here, because we don't want to have this, braising for hours and hours on end. So we're taking the chicken. Everybody knows that if you follow the line right here, it goes right down. I like to take the ends off of this and then just give a quick slit. Now, with this piece here, you got some fat. We're going to take that off. And we're going to separate the chicken into two pieces like that. Again, with a cleaver, if you have it, just go right down, cuts right in half. Now, we are going to dry the skin because we are searing it in the hot oil. The only way to get a really nice golden brown consistency is to pan sear it. Again, the wing comes right out. As you can see, we're cutting right between the joint, just kind of sticking a knife in there, cutting it out. We're going to get the wing tip off. A lot of people like to cook it like this. I tend to like to cut it again. So with this, we're just going to break it and pull it right off. Now we got two pieces. Now we got the breast. We're probably going to go 3 places. We're going to take the meat. And now again, you can pick it up, go down like that if you're skilled enough and you don't think you're going to cut a piece of your finger off, or the safe way is just to leave it like this, put some weight down, and then you got it. So now we got all this chicken, which is half of that. This is a big bird here. We're going to pan sear this, but before we do that, we have to season it. But before we season it, we want to dry it. So with a paper towel, we're just going to dry the top of this. Now I'm searing this, just so you know, in some incredible flaxseed oil from Swanson products. They're swansonvitamins.com. You can get them. Go on their website. You'll see everything from coconut oil to flaxseed oil and everything else. The flaxseed oil is the way to go with this stuff, and that's what we're going to be searing in. Let's wash our hands here a little bit. Okay, now we're going to put a little salt and a little bit of pepper. Okay, put a little bit of pepper on this. Put some black pepper on top. And now we're going to sear this baby up. We're going to go skin side down on this. Make sure you get the salt all throughout. We're looking for a real good quality sear, because once we put it in here, we're going to put the rest of these ingredients on. We're going to put wine. We're going to deglaze with this Gothic Gin, which is amazing. I'm talking about infused with hand-selected botanicals and everything else. This company right here, and trust me, the camera people and the makeup artists have tried it, and they said it is smooth. So we're going to be using it in the kitchen, but we're going to deglaze it a little bit to really get those products down. So we're almost very hot at this point. Okay, we got that on, and then we're going to continue to sear this. Skin side down, of course. Okay. Now we are definitely looking for a serious sear, crispy, charred skin, which we're going to get. All right, we got a couple of minutes on here. I'm going to clean my board up, and then we're going to get started putting the rest of the stuff in there. Don't go anywhere. Taste this. All right, so now we got this. This is Gothic Gin. Chris is behind this incredible product. Great story. I think it's the best gin on the market, to be quite honest with you. He was actually going to come here on today's show, and then the whole traveling thing, but we're going to get him on video later. And he's going to talk to us about the product and stuff like that. Incredible. Always make sure when you're deglazing with gin, you put it in a separate cup, because this could flambe, and it will flambe. We're going to take this over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Looking good. I'm going to give this another couple of seconds. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to take it off the flame, put it on, and deglaze it down. And what you're going to get is all that sweet flavor from the actual gin. It's going to take this whole taste to a different level. And you could smell it. You could smell that flavor. And whenever you're deglazing, you can always smell what it tastes like, what it was cooked like, how it was made. You could smell what they used in here and everything else from the evaporation coming up and the aromas. But we did glazing all that flavor off. And we're still going to use the red wine, but I just think that this really gives it an incredible flavor right from the beginning. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put the wine in here. Now, I like a full bottle, down and dirty. Now, what we're going to do, just before we get to the point where we feel all the alcohol is cooked off, we're going to add the chicken into this. This is going to be the best chicken you've ever had in your life. Make sure you get all that flavor off the pan. Okay, now you can hear that coming up. We got anything extra over there? Throw it in. Now we're going to work on putting the mirepoix in there, the carrots, the celery, the potatoes, and stuff like that. And what we're going to do is just take this to another little level. We're going to add a little bit of water. We want to have the top of the pan pretty much covered. So we're going to cover just the top of this, because we are going to be putting a lot of things in there. At the very end, we're going to add some of this honey, KB family honey. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Now we got the garlic, right? There's only one way of putting garlic in here. This is to smash it whole. We got our onions. We'll deal with that in a minute. Smash them, comes right out of the skin. So you don't got to bother with anything else. Right? Throw that away. Garlic goes right in. Next, we're going to take about a half an onion, should do. And it doesn't really matter, so if it's a perfect dice or a slice or anything like that, because this is going to eventually cook down in the sauce. And we're going to do one of two things. We'll either pass it through a sieve, or we'll just decide to, use it in the sauce. So I'm gonna use a dice here just to get it over with. Throw it in there like that, and already you're gonna start to smell everything working its magic. And this is gonna take a good hour, maybe even a little longer. We'll see, what if the chicken is falling off the bone. We have these fingerling potatoes here, right? I throw them in with the skin. If you want to stand there and peel them, you can. Let's go with a couple of those down. Now we got carrots, celery here. Let's go with the celery first. Now with the celery, I do that to my celery. Breaks the fibers down, and you don't have like an annoying piece of celery. right? So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go like this to the celery. And we have already complemented this celery by smashing it down a little bit. We got those flavors. It's almost like releasing oils in like an herb. You take a piece of basil and you rub it with your fingers and you release the oils. It's like the same thing you're doing with the celery. And celery is very difficult to break down in cooking. So you notice you cut a piece of celery, you put it in there, hours later you come back, it really doesn't go anywhere. Now, in the onion family, you definitely want to have scallions. And this is going to add to the cold bouillon, is essentially what we're making here, or an aromatic flavored liquid. We're going to put the scallions in there like so. Now it's coming together. We're going to lower this. Next, what we're going to do is put our carrots. Now we got 3 different kinds of colors here, white, red, and orange. And you know what? They all taste the same. They just look different. So we're going to cut it on the bias with these carrots. And it really, the different color gives a lot of, I want to say, body, texture, and look to this whole dish. I'm going to throw that in there. And then if you look in there, it really looks like it's coming together nicely. And what we're going to do at the very end here is we're going to chop up some of these mushrooms. And the mushrooms are a key flavor to this dish. And we're going to let this baby stew nicely. Now the mushrooms are going to be white button mushrooms. And we're going to slice them thin. We don't want, I know a lot of this coq au vin is always like quartered. I don't like mushrooms quartered. So slice them thin as you can. We have this incredible honey. This is Glacier honey, best honey on the market. Serious Western sage honey from Canada at its finest. We're going to put probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon in here. And we're going to leave that off to the side, okay? You will not even know it's in there unless I tell you, but it's going to bring out such an incredible sweet texture to this. All right, so I have Chris Klug here, who's founder and CEO of Gothic Gin. And when I tell you it's definitely one of the best gin products on the market, and I've had my fair share of traveling all over Europe and abroad, and I'm going to tell you that not only is this a smooth flavor, but you can taste the craftsmanship at its finest. So Chris was going to appear with us on the show today, but things are going crazy with these flights, but we're happy to have him here on a video, and I thought it was real important that we have him on the show. Chris, I mean, it is unbelievable pleasure. You've outdone yourself with this gin. And talk to us a little bit about you and sort of how you got started. I mean, I've had some conversations with my marketing director, and he gave me a really good story that you told him the other day. Tell us a little bit about sort of how you got started with this, because I mean, I taste something like this and I'm thinking your family's been making this stuff for like 100 years.
Well, I appreciate that, Chef Joe, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here, and I appreciate your kind words. So sorry I couldn't be there in person. We do what we can nowadays. So the quick story is I've actually been in technology for 26 years, but to pay for my first college degree, I was a full-time sauté chef. And that's where I got introduced to pairing food and wine together. And I started studying viticulture distillation way back in those early days. Wow. And I've taken a number of classes up in the state of Washington. Here, I live in San Francisco, been here for 17 years, taking classes around wine country, been to every winery I possibly can. I travel extensively, I think, like you. In my corporate world, I've been a businessman, a global business manager for the last 12 years, flying 200, 300,000 miles a year. And wherever I am, I always try to, experience the culture, and food and spirit, wine are all part of that culture. And like you say, and one of the things that always brought me into distillation is to create a spirit. It's the whole village coming together, the carpenter, the coppersmith, the farmer, everybody coming together, the miller coming together to create this spirit. And so it's a beautiful process, and it's something I've always loved and studied as a passion, never a profession. Well, fast forward to early 2018, I developed a medical issue, went on medical leave. I got pretty nip and tuck there for a bit. Was told at one point by an ER doctor I had about 6 or 8 hours before I was paralyzed from the neck down. And long story medium, go on medical leave. The therapy didn't make it better, but it wasn't getting worse. They said I had a procedure that failed. They said, next step for you is a major surgery. And I said, no way. And I just went off, open-ended trip to Europe. And I wound up in Barcelona, one of my favorite cities on the planet. And I found a school offering a class on making gin. And it was the one alcohol I didn't know how to make. And I think in America, we haven't really been exposed, at least in the past, to high quality gins. And so I was curious, and I took the class, took it twice, and had no intention of creating a spirit or a brand. But I was using the palate that I developed over the last couple of decades to refine a taste to something I liked, I wanted to drink. And at the end of the class, we did a blind tasting. There were some professional distillers also taking the class with me. My gin and the blind tasting won hands down. They came to me and one said, congratulations on a great gin. You've made a great gin. I'm like, okay. And the other said, no, man, what's the name of your gin? And he kind of got into my face a little bit. And I answered him right away. It was one of those moments of spontaneity where I answered him and I was like, wow, where did that come from? And well, so the laboratory where I created the recipe is in the Gothic quarter of Barcelona. And so when he asked me what's the name of the gin, I said, well, it's Gothic Gin, of course. And of course, I'm thinking at the time, in 300 years of gin in Europe, there's no way someone already hasn't done a Gothic gin. And again, there was no intention, but it was just some inspiration that I received, you know. And so I said it. They said, "Wow, that's a great name too." Later on in that evening, in an open air restaurant in Plaza Real in Barcelona, right before midnight, May 23rd, 2018. Some friends of mine who we didn't know, they're from San Francisco, just happened to be in Barcelona at the same time. We're sitting down at this open air restaurant. I'm sure you've been to Barcelona, you understand the vibe and the experience. And they taste the gin, they hear the name, and they're like, man, you should do something with this. And so that was the moment I'm like, well, there's no way someone hasn't already got Gothic Gin. So I on my phone, I log into GoDaddy, and I literally find that GothicGin.com is available, and I buy it for $4.95. And really, it kind of took off from there. And I went on, and I was living in the Ligurian coast in a cliff town there for a bit, and used the Wi-Fi in this 17th century stone handmade hut that I was living in to incorporate. Went on into Florence and was inspired by the art there at the Uffizi. And that's where our logo is the two angels of Assumption. They're holding the vase that, when consumed by Mary, made Mary holy on earth. I came back to San Francisco, found a contract distiller in Northern California that helped me take it from that 1 liter copper still. You know, and when we do it in the laboratory, we're working with a device that literally is the exact same equipment that's been used to distill spirit for 5,000 years. But to go from 1 liter up to then 1,000 liters, you have to reinvent the whole recipe, as you know, as a chef. Different ingredients expressed differently at different volumes. The mathematician in me was like, it's copper, it's the same stuff, just 1-to-1 ratio, add zeros, and it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work, unfortunately. But
took that product, submitted it to the 2019 World Gin Awards. We won gold for American Contemporary Gin. Then went to full production. The bottle that you see there, that you have there, then submitted that batch 001, which you have your hands on. Submitted that to the 2020 World Gin Awards, where we won the category America's Best Contemporary Gin. Won another America's Best Gin in a separate international spirit competition. We won gold at the Denver International Spirit Competition. A couple other bronzes and silvers I don't like to talk about. I like to talk about the golds and the best.
Gold, yeah.
Now we've been picked up by Southern Glacier, largest alcohol distributor in North America. The updates now are hourly. We're entering that hockey stick phase of the brand. It's not something I intended to do, but I'm embracing it. It's been a blessing. Our whole brand ethos is receiving divine inspiration to become your true self, and we want to live those values. We put 5% of profit into philanthropy, community engagement, environmental causes. Just in the last 48 hours, I signed on 4 online national resellers. It's been a blessing, you know, and I'm doing better now. Last year I had major surgery. They actually, after I told them no, they invented a new surgery, which wasn't quite as horrible as the first one was going to be. And I'm doing better now on the road to recovery and just embracing this brand and the gift I've been given.
That's awesome. What's the vision of the company? Where do you see yourself next year, 5 years from now? This is certainly winning awards, but what's your vision? Where do you want to see it?
It's a great question. So I'm a sales guy by profession. And so my first answer, my sales guy says, I want to sell everywhere to everyone, everything. But given that we're a value-based organization, being true to the brand, being true to the high quality product that we want to continue to put out there, and now being an entrepreneur and understanding, you know, the marketing Bible says, win local first, and focus on key markets where you can be successful, and then that broader success will happen. So to answer your question, we're really targeting very specific markets in America. We're the gin of the month in Australia right now, which is a huge gin market. I just had some calls today with London where this is a bit odd for me, but on the street I've been stopped and called the gin guy from America. But London.
I'll take that title.
I'll take it. So London is a massive gin market, and I want to. If I believe I have a great product, regardless of what the product is, I want to go to the heart of where that market is, and I want to be successful there. I want to be successful in California. We're launching this week in South Carolina. I didn't know this, but South Carolina is the #1 gin consuming per capita market in America. Yeah. I would have no idea.
I go there quite frequently too. I had no idea.
Yeah. So to answer your question, we want to maintain our brand. We want to maintain product quality. We're picking some key markets where we want to be most successful in, and we think if we do those 3 things, then that broader, bigger success will follow.
Good. I love it. We're looking forward to getting you on the set sometime soon. But thanks for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thanks for having me. Now you're killing me. I wish I was there in person.
But now, so let me ask you. Let's say more people want to know where to go and find this. Give me a website.
So if you go to gothicgin.com, we have right on the front we have Get Gothic, and that's where to buy Gothic, and so we list everywhere we're being sold, and we'll continue to update that. We just got listed in Drizzly. We just got listed in Postmates. We just brought on 2 online retailers, NestorLiquors.com. You can go to Nestor, Nestor liquors.com, and search for Gothic Gin, and we're there. You can buy us right now. They ship to 49 states. We just brought on CW Spirits. They ship to 38 states. So you'll continue to see us add more and more and more. And as we develop the relationship with Southern Glacier, then of course we'll be all over North America.
That's awesome. Guys, check it out. Gotham Gin. You're going to be seeing me cooking on it in this season of Taste This TV. Check out the website for more about this great product. Chris, thanks for being on the show, and we'll see you in the studio soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care now. Yeah. Bye-bye.
We let this baby cook, do its thing, An hour later, we're going to see it. But are we really going to wait an hour? No, because we're going to invite Alessandro coming on the show. Now, he's called the Gelato Master. Him, Umberto's brother, have been gelato makers here in New York City for many, many, many years. They've pioneered this, doing different kinds of flavors in there from years ago with their sorbet, their Cavaillon sorbet, which exploded. They're coming on here with tartufos. They're coming on here with gelato. If you have a sweet tooth, don't miss this one. Taste this. So if you got a sweet tooth, you're definitely going to want to tune into this segment because we have Alessandro here, which is a good friend of mine, long time, know him a bunch of years, but he is a gelato master. And Alessandro, how are you, my friend?
How are you, Joe?
Good to
Thank
see you. Well, on behalf of Dolce Amore and their whole team there, I mean, look at this stuff. But before we dive in, tell us a little bit about the company. Yeah. I mean, I probably know you guys for about 25 years, but talk to us a little bit about kind of where you guys are going. And
well, actually, it's a family-owned business. It started by Enzo Arpaia and the wife Angela. He was a chef for his restaurants, one in the city.
Is Enzo still around?
Enzo, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember him way back.
Absolutely. He's semi-retired now, but he had a restaurant in the city, a restaurant on Long Island, and he made all his ravioli and gelato together. Mm-hmm. And he came across this concept, says, you know what, I'm going to combine these two and have a storefront. So from a storefront, started in Astoria, and people love it. People came in and all that, and from that point on, he started sampling city restaurants, and it got caught on. He came from one storefront to a second storefront. Then we finally had to get to a manufacturing facility, a large facility, and more space.
And that's where you're at now.
Actually, no, we were in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay, got it. Then from Brooklyn, then you went back.
We were there for 20 years. Right. Currently, right now, we had to move again because we did expand even more so because the concept was just great and people love it. Save people's time. This is quality stuff like you make it at home. And even the raviolis, it feels like it's a non-commercial.
Well, this is quality.
And now we're in Lindenhurst currently.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Now he's semi-retired and the boys are running. Umberto Marcello, the ones that are running the operation.
Now, what's the website?
Website you could go if anybody wants to see us is www.dolceamoreny.com, and from there you see all our product list, both raviolis and gelato, and we update every so often, Joe, because seasonal specials. Right now it's the fall, so we have the pumpkin ravioli, pumpkin gelato, which is outstanding.
It is very good.
This is the season for that.
Now, are you still making the Cavaillon sorbet?
We still do everything. We have 100 different kinds
that was serious.
Gelato and sorbets combined. We make everything, anything that people ask for.
This is great. So what do we got first? What are we going to try here?
Okay, well, actually, we very diversified as a flavor company, for different flavor profile, if you will. We make from Italian gelato, we have hazelnut to Latino gelato, we have passion and coconut, and we have Asian flavor. This is what
green
Joe's
tea,
trying,
right?
Is green tea gelato, yes.
Very good.
We have the Asian flavor.
Very good.
And Joe, can I say this? We also have a Greek flavor, which is really a fun thing to do. It's from a sap. It's called mastika. It's actually from a tree, and it's the Greeks love it. We handle that too. The Greeks actually love the mastika gelato we do, and so we diversify for a lot of ethnic groups as well.
Very nice. You know, I was always impressed with the ingenuity of the product and the creativity, because you have to be in this business.
Yeah. You can't stay one flavor. The classic goes well, but people always want.
They want the extra. This is a mango sorbet?
This is a mango sorbet. The flavor comes from...
All right, let me try that last.
Sure, right.
I'm going to stay with the cream first. This is the...
That's a Madagascar vanilla. It comes from a Madagascar island off Africa. That's one of the flavors it comes from.
Incredible. Real vanilla.
Yeah, it's the real thing. It's
well, you know...
Not a flavor.
It's tough these days, you know?
That's right. And many of our flavors are imported as well. That's one of the flavors we tasted.
Wow.
Welcome to Belgium. And that's a Belgian chocolate. And
that's a strong statement, Belgium. I'm going in on this one. I've always said this is your winner.
Yeah.
You could taste this is real deal stuff in here.
That's right.
You know? It amazes me why and I understand to some point, and then I don't. But people will go in and buy a whole gallon of cheap ice cream with everything unimaginable that you shouldn't put into your system for $3.99.
Right.
Yet for a couple of extra bucks, they can have like real dairy and real chocolate.
Well,
you know, without all those fillers and the guar gum and the carrageenan.
Right. I'm going to expand on that what you're just saying as far as what makes a gelato quality. Gelato means ice cream. That's the word for it. But what makes quality, Joe, is we work with a dairy company out in Albany, upstate, and they make us a 12% butterfat. A lot of the ice cream could be 14, 15, 16% butterfat. The higher the butterfat, the more you mask the flavor of what you want to taste. You want to taste the chocolate, you want to taste the vanilla, the mango, and the green tea or the hazelnut. You want to linger onto your palate for a while, a few seconds. It will not disappear just at the moment you taste
Right.
it. So that's a part of it. Another factor, what makes gelato great and quality is this is a 5-quart, okay? And it's the weight. It's about 8 to 8.5 pounds for gelato. So you're not buying air. We call it overrun. We add a 20% overrun to our, as it mixing, as it's dashing. Sorbet is a little heavy. It's almost 9 pounds. So you can tell on the weight of the ice cream of the quality that you're getting.
Not bad at all.
Right. Thanks.
All right, now this one is hazelnut, right?
It's an Italian hazelnut. It is imported. That's one of the important ingredients. As well
And you got
as-
real hazelnuts in it.
Yeah, it's real. It's a real thing. It's a paste imported. And we also do pistachio. Another, it's important ingredients from Sicily, for example, because they know their pistachio over there.
That's serious. You could just do the talking this whole show, and I'll just do the eating. How's that?
That's great. All right,
This
I'll
is
do that.
Excellent.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna step aside until
I might. I mean, this. I don't know. You know, I'm losing concentration and focus with this stuff. What do we got going on with this one?
That is our one of the surveys we have. That's the most popular one we have. It is Alfonso Mango. It's imported from India.
Right. Really?
And once you taste it, and Joe clarified that, you can taste it is mango. You don't have to guess.
It's real mango.
It is mango. You don't
Because you have you have that mango kind of puree feel across the palate.
nice and smooth.
It's not
and-
like it's artificial flavor,
no.
crap like that.
That's what we strive for. We want to give people the best qualities possible.
I know you came here today with my favorite tartufo. Talk to me about what a tartufo is.
All right. A tartufo, it's a chocolate ball covered with a semi-chocolate. Inside there's a combo of vanilla and chocolate together with cherry and almonds in the middle. That's a classic. Many years we had that for a while. It's a well-known product for many years. Now we have a new product of tartufo. It's a pistachio with the chocolate covered, but then it's covered again with a graham cracker hazelnut crust.
Now, did you bring one of those today?
I did. Yes, sir. I did. We're gonna
All right,
try it?
let's do it. Now, the tartufo. He wasn't kidding when he said that he is probably the most leading tartufo maker in all of New York City. They're not kidding. Using real chocolate, combination of flavors, and that incredible gelato that you've seen before, you have yourself a tartufo.
And two tartufo.
And two tartufos. So one is with the chocolate, and what's the other one again?
Yeah, this is the classic chocolate covered. Inside there's a vanilla and chocolate gelato combined with cherry and almonds. This is a pistachio covered chocolate and then recovered with a crusted graham cracker hazelnut.
God, I don't know which one to try first, but I can guarantee you I will try it.
You have two hands and two spoons.
I have two hands. The problem is I have two hands and only one mouth. But please.
Let's go.
Now they're still making the cherry in the middle?
Yep.
Look at that. I don't know if I would have been able to cut it like that. Wow. That is incredible. I'm not even going to ask you how you do this, if this is by hand
All
or...
handmade, Joe. It's made one step at a time. It takes a while, but you know what? It's non-machine. It's done by hand.
Wow. What's your website again?
It's www.dolceamoreny.com.
This is a real chocolate, man. You know, it's amazing in this world, in this day and age, you have to say that, but there's so much stuff that's made out there with corn syrup, and I love it. I love it. Now, what's the other one we have here?
The other one we're going to cut as well, too. I'm just going to make some room, and I'll show you. This one is a new pistachio, and it's a hot seller because people love the combination between all the ingredients. It takes a few steps.
Oh, wow, look at that.
It's one more step than the original tartufo. That is, you still have the chocolate. If you look around, it still has the chocolate. That's pistachio, the chocolate. We do the same process, but in addition to the graham cracker hazelnut crust on top.
Oh, God.
Let's do it again.
These guys want none of, you guys don't want none of this, right? They don't like this stuff.
It's a good thing I brought two tartufo for each.
All right, let's see. Down the hatch. Wow. The pistachio's a winner. What's the future for Dolce Amore? Now, I've seen you guys on QVC.
That's right, with QVC. We're trying to expand our line in many, many ways. We do restaurants, we do food service throughout the United States. We're in Florida, Georgia, Jersey, Connecticut, and we're expanding from there. We have retail going on, raviolis in ShopRite, mostly New Jersey for now. Okay, if anybody's in New Jersey, you go to ShopRite, our ravioli is in the seafood section of ShopRite.
So, yeah, let's talk about the raviolis, because I know I was talking to Umberto. I'm going to go down to the plant and see that, but they have incredible raviolis. Talk to us a little bit about that process. Handmade, some machines.
Well, the machines
right?
are
from
Italian,
Italy.
imported.
Right.
It is from Milano. And so you have that Italian quality with the skin or the dough, if you will. It's a thin dough. It's not overpowering. It's not, that heaviness of the dough. It's a nice light texture, almost like it's a homemade style ravioli as we know it. And we have anywhere between, we're actually full line. We have anywhere between lobster to mushroom to a vegan ravioli, and the classic cheese ravioli, manicotti, stuffed shells, cavatelli, gemelli, and so forth in those lines. And we use real lobster ravioli. We use a knuckling claw. They could actually see the pieces what you're eating. It's not all puree.
Incredible. Wow. I don't know.
Full already?
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to stuff my face off camera, but it was good to try everything.
Good.
This is definitely such a winner. I mean, this is a hardcore winner here. Alessandro, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Joe.
Really, I mean, always a pleasure.
Me, you and your staff.
You guys are, I'm going to call you like the Willy Wonka of the gelato world, because you guys are definitely very creative. I'm still talking about the Cavaillon melon from France. If you've ever had a true Cavaillon melon,
it tastes like the melon itself.
It tastes like the melon from France. And I don't know what they've done to it, but they make a sorbet. It's a Cavaillon, and I have been just using that in my years in the restaurant for decades. I mean, people were looking at and they were trying that stuff and saying, "My God, it tastes just like Cavaillon melon." But
that's right.
Go to the website, check them out, folks. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, guys.
And we got this coq au vin. When we come back, we're plating it. We usually do dessert last, but in this case, we switched it up. Don't go anywhere. Taste this. Okay, what we're gonna do now is take our chicken, but we all know it's coq au vin. You see how it changes color a little bit? And we got a little bit of a potato going on there. Maybe we'll put a nice leg on top. But what we're gonna do is take this sauce, and I'm just looking to strain, some of the onions and stuff like that might have been in. And we're gonna leave that for later. I'm gonna return this here. I'm gonna put this back on the fire and put the sauce back in. And what we're going to do is, since I know a lot of people like to add flour and stuff like that, I'm not really big on that. I either do natural reductions or just a little bit of tomato paste. Depending on which tomato paste, you can get away with doing it in the end, like I'm doing now. A good quality tomato paste is worth its weight in gold. We're going to take a little bit of this sauce sec, which is a French dried salami. And what we're going to do is just slice this. Now right here, this is a manual slicer from Univex. It's a 12-inch German hollow blade. The blade is their new low friction blade to help reduce friction on the slicer and products such as like meat or cheeses and stuff like that. Compact design for countertop usage, which is what we're doing now. Easy disassembles and easy for cleaning. Okay, that's it. All right, now what we're going to do after we've sliced the sauce sec is we're going to throw it right in the sauce, and we're going to get the flavor of that pork in with this as well. Got to make this thicker and quicker. I'm not here all night. All right, now what we're going to do is put the sauce right over the coq au vin. As you can see, it's nice and thick. And the sauce sec, we have nice flavor on this as well. That's why I like to cut it thin. Clean the sides of this. Yep, falls off the bone. Now let's taste it. A little bit of sauce sec. Wow, fabulous. Thank you for watching this fun-filled episode of Taste This TV. I'm your host, Chef Joe Ciminera. My friends, between the gin, the honey, the coq au vin, Alessandro with gelato, wouldn't you want to be here on Taste This TV? No rules of cooking, my friends. Stay safe. Taste this.